I think just like you wouldn't abandon a family member, I would recommend never even thinking of abandoning your dog. Not just in COVID or in any other time.
Any other time, yeah.
They've given you joy and love, and unconditional joy and love. So I think it's very, very important to stay with to have your dogs with you, take care of them just as you would take care of your own child.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for
joining MK. How are you doing? Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Good to have you. How's the lockdown treating you?
It's like camping. You have a lot of work to do from morning till evening. You wake up early in the morning, you get your act together, but there's no beautiful stream to go dip your legs in, and there's no beautiful mountain. You have to imagine it. So it's a lot of work, but if you look at it as a great opportunity to spend time with your loved ones and your pets, it's a godsend.
Yeah, I've been thinking of it as a summer vacation, because as an adult, you never get those anymore.
Yeah.
And in school, it was like, I never thought I'd miss them, but I do. So this is a good opportunity.
Oh, Gina's made an appearance. Come here.
Gina.
Gina has a split personality. So she's one way,
Hi, Gina.
So with human beings, she's outstanding. With Vegas, she's horrifically bad. She's like a Dr. Gina and Mrs. Hyde.
But we saw that even as a puppy, because
she was. What we thought her sitting on Vegas was love. No, it was domination from day one. She would sit on Vegas and we thought, oh, so cute, oh, so cute.
Yeah.
But it's all about domination.
No, but she always had a big personality, she was never still. She was always just zooming around. Yeah. That's all I remember.
But she's not as smart as Vegas. So she may have domination and she may have a dominating personality, but she is not very clever.
So you have 2 beagles?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the other one, but they'll fight here. You go, I'll do it turn by turn.
But why beagles?
Why beagles? Well, I come from a Labrador family. We've had labs since I was born. In fact, I was born into a house with a lab called Begum, a black lab called Begum, and then Nawab came in, and we've always had labs. Yeah. But on my 25th birthday, I got a birthday gift from my husband, their boyfriend, and it was a beautifully wrapped up beagle, and I was like, what is that? I didn't even know the breed beagle. I mean, I knew of it. I knew there were hounds. I'd been to lots of dog shows because my mom was breeding dogs. But I mean, it was not a dog that I was attracted to, and he didn't take to me very well either. Till the day we were traveling back to Bombay.
That's
Milo. At the airport. That's Milo. So at the airport, he became like attached to me because suddenly he was in an alien environment and the only person he knew was me. So the first 5-6 days, he was very aloof. He wouldn't talk to me. He would look at me. He would associate with me more than my family members, obviously, but we already had 6 dogs at home. Yeah. And I did not hear him bark at all for the first 6 days.
For a beagle, yeah.
Because he also came as a bit of an old puppy, so he was about 4 months. I think he was given up by his earlier owners, 4 months or 5 months, and which is why he had such a personality, and so clever. He was more clever than a lot of the human beings I've come across since. So since then, I think Milo was about 9 when we got Vegas, thinking that it would be a lot of company for Milo, but Milo did not like Vegas.
No.
He thought she was a nuisance. And we had Milo and Vegas together for a year, a little over a year, and then we lost Milo to an enlarged heart. Again, a lot of breeders are not ethically breeding dogs, so they're constantly being inbred. So Milo had a congenital disease with a massive heart. So by the end of it, his heart was so big that it was almost occupying the entire size of his rib cage.
Oh my God!
So he was on drugs to sort of contain that condition.
Yeah.
And his heart just couldn't. I mean, he probably would have lived a little longer, but the heart was in very bad shape. And that's when one realized the importance of people. Either you adopt, or you go for rescue dogs, or then you really need to be sure of the breeder you're getting the dog from.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, all these backyard breeders give the good breeders a bad name, because good breeders are needed too to carry on
Yeah,
a breed.
the breed
Yeah.
instincts, the breed characteristics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, then Vegas came in. So we had Vegas alone for a year, and we realized that we didn't want her to be alone. And when Vegas was alone for a year, so she spent a year with Milo, and a year on her own, as she traveled everywhere, Musarrat, like literally everywhere. She's been to, even Milo was a very well-traveled dog. He'd been to Ladakh, he'd been to Srinagar.
Your car is named after him now. So.
Yes, my car's named after him. And then
Gina.
Then Gina, look, someone's calling you. Look here. Gina. She's not very clever. So
like all bullies.
Yeah, like all bullies. She relies on her size. So can I put my dog face? You mean like
yeah, do it if you can. I think you can. You
yeah,
there
totally.
You go.
My son loves this. So basically we got Gina from the same breeder that we got Vegas from, and they're actually little sisters. They're from the same mother but two different litters.
Okay.
And we got Gina when Vegas was 2. And now they've been inseparable since then. And Vegas is called Vegas because she has this face that looks like she's been gambling all night in Vegas. Her face looks like this. So we named her Vegas after Las Vegas.
That's perfect. And so you have 2 beagles now, and you travel a lot with your dogs. How do you manage that?
Up until till about last year, it wasn't very difficult because there were 2 airlines that allowed dog travel, Air India and Jet. And now it's only Air India because Indigo doesn't believe in dog travel. I mean, it's just an additional nuisance and additional training for their super efficient, very, very basic operation. Okay, now you have to go. So I don't think so. I used to travel. I used to fly with them everywhere. If it was, my thing was if it's a trip that's longer than about 4 days or 5 days, then they'll go with me, because there's no point putting them through the trauma of the air travel. It is a bit of a trauma for them.
No, of course.
And if it's going to be for like 2 days or 3 days, so all long trips they would go with us. In fact, we had an incredible camping trip the year before my son was born. We flew to Chandigarh, and then we sort of drove up the hills from there. But also, again, a lot of folks ask me about dogs traveling. I try to take their kennels down about a week before the intended travel.
Yeah.
And they start getting into the kennel and start sitting there. And they're actually pretty comfortable. In fact, when at the airport, they're more comfortable getting into the kennel than being khula.
No, of course.
Because that bothers them.
Dogs think of it as their den, and it's a safe space for them. So
and the creatures of habit.
Crate training is bad, but I don't think so. I think it's providing your dog a safe space no matter where you are. So someone is saying, please be
What's
normal.
with the
that
dog?
Looks pretty...
So, I should take it off? Okay, I will take it off. Everybody has different requests. Okay, here we go.
Yes. So I mean, and that's great, because dogs want nothing more than to be with you. And as pet owners, like leaving your dog behind, your heart is in your mouth, you're already worrying.
Always.
And, so that's great.
One sec. Gina, she's picked up my son's toy. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Gina, you can't do that. Gina, no. Gina. Sorry.
It's okay.
Gina. But we brought back Vegas.
Hi, Vegu. What did I do? I always keep doing this.
Oh, you flip the camera.
I know, I do.
Bottom right.
Yeah. There you go. I was trying to see the questions there. In the question mark, there's questions, but I flipped the screen instead. So.
Okay.
Nothing.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Payan. How are you? Hi.
Hi, Vegas.
This is Vegas. She's really, really smart.
How are you, Vegas?
Vegas has been bitten on the eye by Gina.
She looked.
She was bitten here because we were eating. They were in the kitchen and I was feeding them stuff that I was chopping, and they got into a bit of a scratch.
Oh.
So yeah, they do that quite a bit.
Yeah, Pasha bullies Matli like that. So
yeah, Pasha's older also.
by 6 months, not much older.
But
So
Muttley came into the house after Pasha.
yeah.
And that's
so he So
that's
he thinks
hierarchy.
I'm the lord of Muttley. That's for sure. Oh, someone's asking me, how do you fit Pasha in any crate? He does actually. Both of them have.
They are big crates. Great Danes travel as well.
Yeah, they do. And horses travel. So I mean,
Horses
what is
travel.
Pasha? Yeah.
Okay, so Gul SpiceJet accepts dog for domestic travel and very good service.
I have not heard of that.
Okay, I'll take that, and I would still go with Air India over SpiceJet.
Yeah, but I don't know if SpiceJet does because I've not heard of it ever.
No, Vaisal says she's had good service.
She says
she's had good
a pet
service.
relocator, so she would know.
Oh, she would know, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'd still put my money on Air India. What is the process of taking a dog on a plane? Do I have to answer that, or you'll answer that, Ms. Sarat?
You can, since you've traveled with them so much.
So essentially, you need a. She's not very happy. She's gonna get very angry very soon. She's going. So she's giving me the look. So essentially, you have to get a crate for each of them, and then the airline typically charges you the weight of the weight of the dog with the crate. What do you want? The weight of the dog with the crate at a particular rate. I don't know what that rate is currently, but last I checked, it was about 250 rupees a kg. Okay. And the dog is, so then they take the, what? She wants to be let down. She communicates. She asks for water, food very clearly. Whereas she gets locked in rooms and then she barks and lets us know she's locked in. Whereas Gina will just remain locked in for 24 hours.
Oh my God. I saw a video where Nihal went and opened them up.
Because Vegas was calling out. Gina won't even know. Gina won't know how to use barking skills. So you, the airline takes the dog. It goes through oversized baggage. They take out the dog from the kennel. You take out the dog from the kennel. Then the kennel is X-rayed separately, and then they take the dog away on a trolley. The dog never comes back on the conveyor belt. It's brought on a trolley, hand carried by somebody from the airline. And the policy in the back end is last on board, first off. So last on, first off. And it's kept in the forward hold, which is directly under the cockpit. And the recirculation fans are kept on so that the cabin temperature and so the air that we breathe is the same air that they breathe.
Right.
So that was
and
how
also, you know, before your air travel, try to crate train your dog, introduce them to the crate, and you know, so they're familiar with it, and they're comfortable, and they know it's there, so they don't panic. Suddenly they're in
that's very important. I mean, I bring the crate down about a week early, and then they hang around in the crate.
Yeah. Okay. Sandeep wants to know, hello Gul, how do you manage your work routine and dog care?
It is a challenge. I think currently I'm lucky that my husband's around and I'm able to walk the dogs and take care of my son. But the real challenge actually comes up when he's not here. So then I have a 2-year-old. I can't leave him alone in the house.
Yeah.
And go walk the dogs. I can't leave him alone in the house even when he's sleeping to go walk the dogs. So then I have to carry him piggyback and hope he doesn't jump off. And then walk them, and it is a bit of a challenge because I don't want the dogs dragging me into traffic, which never really happens. But unless you know they've seen a dog that they want to attack or be friends with, it can be a bit scary.
So, you know, I mean, you brought up Nihal, so I'm going to ask you. You know, a lot of people in India, especially when they find out they're going to have kids, they start abandoning their dogs. So, what do you say to them? I see you managing all three very well. So, you know.
I mean, for me, they came before Nihal, right? So there was no question of abandoning them. I mean, in a way, they're still, at some level, there's a special place for them, which is not yet occupied by Nihal. The thing is, I feel when you take a pet on, it's a big decision. It's like having a child. And you cannot go back on it. And, you know, I know so many people who complain, oh, puppies biting and chewing. But that's what puppies do. So that's something that
that's like teething for them. So
I mean, so many and again, people ask about temperament. Temperament is a direct function of the amount of time that you spend with your pet,
right?
Training your pet.
And
in the early couple months, if you spend time and effort training them, toilet training them for behavior and obedience, then I think the pet is a joy to have. And the whole thing is the pet enjoys it as well, because his only joy in life is to please you, and when he's pleasing you, he's the happiest. So if you can teach him, If you can teach your pet how to please you, then you're pleasing two people, your pet and yourself. So I think it's important to understand that a dog is like a pet or a cat. I mean, a dog or a cat is like a child, and it's a very, very responsible decision. In fact, one of the reasons why Rishi got me Milo was to make me responsible. And the early days, in fact, getting Milo was like discovering you're pregnant but not sure whether you want the child.
And you don't have that period to even like get used to the idea.
And he was there. And the thing was, I was this fancy person, footloose and fancy free, get up, go on a plane, go to Delhi, go here, go there. Suddenly I was accountable for everything that I was doing. I mean, I had to be back at a certain time. I had to feed this creature. But the other thing is, I think dogs also adapt to you. I was 25 back then, and I did have my fair share of late nights and late mornings. And Milo would wake up when I woke up. So even now, if you go to my parents' house, their dogs wake up at 5 because my parents' household wakes up at 5. My dogs wake up when I wake up. Milo used to wake up even at 11, even at 1 in the afternoon. He never bothered me.
That's incredible.
Dogs essentially take on your personality, but you have to spend that effort to train them. And dogs, as Paw Print by Sahil says, dogs pick up your vibes and become exactly who you are.
That is true. When I realized when I had just met Karan, I didn't know this about him, but I found out because of Pasha. He was scared of the dark, and I was like, why is Pasha scared of the dark? Because Karan is scared of the dark.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He would not go down the stairs because the light was not on.
Sandeep asked me a question which I think is very relevant. Gul, have you taken dogs to shoot location? In fact, on 2 or 3 of my films when I was out of town for an extended period, Milo, actually, all of turning 30, this film I shot in 2009, Milo was on set for the entire 35 days of shoot. The entire 35 days of shoot.
Wow.
And another film called Summer 2007 that was shot in Panchgani and Pune, Milo traveled with me. And so he used to sit in my car and be everywhere. I mean, the thing is, they adapt to you. It's all about them adapting to you. And about, we didn't complete the question about, answering the question about pets and babies. So my dogs didn't take to Milo, to Nihal at all. And unlike, for example, the dogs in my parents' house or my cousin's house, they were very friendly with Nihal. But these two just wouldn't want to go anywhere near him. And once he began crawling, they disliked him even more because he could get to them. And they would retreat into deep places, and they would only once their back was against the wall, literally they would bark. Then it was only when he was about a year old that some kind of relationship began developing. And then for his afternoon naps, I would sometimes find I would put Nihal on the bed and go for to the kitchen to get something, and I would come back and find Gina lying down next to him. So Gina was the first one who began approaching him, but Gina is still the one who's more likely to snap at him if he pulls their tail. Vegas won't. Vegas will bark, but she won't bite. Gina, I have to be a little careful of.
Okay.
Although now he loves taking them for a walk. So he holds the leash, and I always give Vegas to him because Vegas is more gentle. Gina is a bit of a unruly dog at times when she wants to be.
That's adorable. Yeah, no, because I wanted to ask you this because, of course, it's a common problem.
So Karan Ved says he's not afraid of the dark. Okay, then there's also a movie, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's great. No, I had to ask you this because, for someone who I grew up with dogs too. So I know from a kid's perspective, it's a great childhood to have dogs all around you. But I don't know as a parent, how it is from the other side. I don't know what my parents went through.
You are worried, Masarat, because I was bitten by our family dog who was a German Shepherd, Abdul. And in fact, I have to always fill in this scar here with eyebrow pencil. I mean, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
there's a scar. So I was bitten at 9 months of age. And again, my parents could have given the dog away or something, but I used to sit on this dog all the time. And one day I sat him when he was sleeping. So he just kind of got startled and sat. And in his turning, his canine went into my eye. And I had to take 14 injections because back in the day you had that 14 injection thing. So I'm acutely aware that I need to protect my child from the dogs till he's able to protect himself.
Right.
So all those cute Instagram videos and pictures you see are actually for the moment. No one leaves their infant to the dog.
Right.
It's just, dogs are ultimately feudal animals. I mean, they are wild animals. So you've got to be aware that you have to be very, very careful in terms of what you cannot leave a child alone with a dog. Is what I would say. Not because dog will do something, because a child may do something.
Yeah, because they don't know what is.
They don't know. They may try
dog
to
and
pull
what
their.
is the...
Nihal very often tries to pull their tails. I don't know why. He likes to pull tails. I don't understand.
I mean, it's a kid's thing. It's a new world to him. You know, everything is new and it's moving and it's like a toy, live toy for him. So I guess.
Kabir, you're back to troll me. I can see that. Kabir is my new friend from Alive on Sunday. Just one sec. The intercom, can you get that? I'll have to get that.
Okay.
Nihal, you're making the finish your baking, then you can come and say hi to me. You know me, Simon! So, about high altitude. We've taken both Vegas and Milo to Ladakh a few times. And when you drive up, they're adapting just the way we are adapting.
Right.
So, I don't think it's an issue. I mean, Milo, we didn't take Milo on his second trip because he already had the heart condition. But typically, dogs will adapt just the way you do. So they feel as cold though.
Yeah. Okay, so how are you managing dogs in the lockdown? You know, exercise and all. Everyone is like, you can't go out, you can't take them to parks, you can't do anything anymore. So how are you?
So we try and take the stairs. I mean, we live on the 8th floor, as you know. So we try and take the stairs as at least to walk them up and down. And they're little, right? They have little legs because they're beagles. So eight floors up and down in the morning, and in the afternoon and in the evening is a lot of exercise for them. And obviously they're a lot leaner now than they were before lockdown, because our lovely, loving housekeeper who's been with me since before Milo came.
Wow.
She just likes to give them biscuit, little bit of roti. It's like, kaise ji dekho na, ye bhooke mar rahe hain. I'm like, bhooke nahi mar rahe hain. So they're actually leaner and meaner now than they were pre-lockdown. They're actually in prime condition because they're eating exactly the amount of food they need to eat, and we're exercising them. So my husband takes them. He's the only one who's stepping out of the building because he wears his mask and goes out and walks them. And but exercise does remain a challenge. But like with human beings, a lot of it is about what you eat. And if you feed them the right amount of food, then you can to some extent regulate their body weight.
Yeah. I think that's very important. Everyone forgets about the diet and they just focus on the exercise, and 70% is food. So
it is 70%, even for us. I would say once you're 40,
exactly.
Once you cross 40, which you will get there in about another 20 years, you will know that it's like 90. It's 90% food and 10% exercise. Yeah. I mean, exercise is just to make sure they're fit. How do you teach? Sorry, so you were saying?
No, I'm saying I'm feeling it already, because it's not like before. Earlier, I could like eat like a sloth. Like, I can't anymore. I can't. So, what were you reading? You were reading.
How do you teach Nihal to be around dogs? Again, children will emulate what you do. They emulate exactly. So, I mean, Nihal sees me with Gina and Vegas. He sees me giving kisses, and what I'm really afraid of is him trying to go and kiss them, like in the lip area, because you know the nose and that area.
Yeah.
Now, while they'll tolerate me doing that, I'm not sure they'll tolerate Nihal doing that. So he emulates me. He emulates everything that I do. Every morning I groom them. So I don't use a brush. I use my hands, and I do it back and forth about 100 times, and all the dead hair comes out, and their coat is nice and shiny. So he watches me do that, and then he tries to do the same thing. So he's basically Saloni, I'm assuming, S4 Loni.
Yeah.
He basically copies what all dogs all children will copy their parents.
Yeah, because I see him in Down Dog with you so many times, because he just wants to do whatever.
Yeah, he just wants to do whatever we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And just, thank you for your time. And before I let you go, what do you want to say to people? I hear about them abandoning dogs because of COVID-19. And it's just like, I've been saying it on my social media. I've been just telling everyone who asks me, how are you managing with COVID-19? So, I mean, coming from you, I think it would go much further.
Would you abandon a family member if they got COVID? So while there's still a large degree of uncertainty as to whether pets can contract, a tiger in the zoo in New York has contracted COVID.
Yeah.
We don't know how. It's too early to decide or understand how it's being transmitted. Some people are talking about COVID as an airborne virus, like flying around, like mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I mean, we know too little right now. And I think to be able to, what I would say is minimize exposure of your dogs as well. Just take them
Right.
down when it's absolutely necessary, because we don't know anything about this virus. Having said that, I know two cousins of mine in the UK. Rather, my cousin and her husband got COVID, and they were fine in 5 days. The young people, they fought it. In fact, both of them had completely two different symptoms.
Oh.
He had fever for 3 days, and she did not even have fever.
Wow.
She just had body ache for 3 days, and she recovered.
No, but
So
glad they've recovered. So
yeah, but a lot of folks are. So you see, I mean,
Yeah.
while I understand that it is, there are people who are extremely vulnerable to COVID, and this is the new normal, Musarra. This is not going away. This virus is
Yeah,
going to
it's
come
not.
back every season, and we just have to over time build an immunity to it. Coming back to our pets, I think just like you wouldn't abandon a family member, I wouldn't. I mean, I would recommend never even thinking of abandoning your dog,
Yeah.
not just in COVID or in any other time.
Any other time.
They've,
Yeah.
they've given you joy and love, and unconditional joy and love. So I think it's very, very important to stay with to have your dogs with you, take care of them just as you would take care of your own child and a family member. In fact, Vegas is the grandmother in the house now, and she clearly this was not part of the routine. She did not want to be held in the lap. It was not convenient for her, so she just
No.
began making sounds to be released. So this is who we are. We love dogs, and
Yeah.
we want more people to love dogs. And um, in fact, I would like to use this opportunity. I have a few friends of mine who are looking to adopt. So please let me know. I'm going to follow. I now follow in Dogspot. In Dogspot.
In Dogspot.
Dogspot. In Dogspot.
Yeah, like India Dogspot. So yeah.
Okay. So India Dogspot. So I now follow in Dogspot. And if somebody, I mean, I have two friends looking to get a dog, and I recommended that they should adopt. And
That's
if there is,
great.
if there's a way that you can, I mean, I'll be in touch with you guys, because you and Karan are in the heart of the dog community. We're also
Thank
related.
you.
I don't know if Shebi told you, but we're also related with your in-laws by a dog.
Oh,
He didn't
yeah.
tell you?
Yes, I know. No, I know this, and even your dad told me, because he
Ah.
said, "Oh, we got these Labradors," and he said we still have their line in the house.
We still have, yeah. I
Yeah.
think Gabru is from the Ved line.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, they stopped breeding now. They don't. Last litter was actually, I think I married Karan partly because of all the dogs they had, because there was 2 litters of golden retrievers in the house when I met him, and I was like, oh my god.
This is the house I want to be in forever.
I know, like puppies everywhere. So
I know it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You're in
So,
dog heaven.
I am. So thank you again. Thank you for your
featuring
time.
me. I've had such a great time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
you
you.
for all the nice, kind words. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to every one of you. My wife is a big fan of you. Please give her my love, Ameya. I get bit all the time. I make sure the dog gets the correct injection after the bite. Me, okay, Karan, I got that. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
And someone asked, I can't remember who, but they asked about Nihal, and I know the answer to this, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, he's a big fan of Jonas Brothers.
Oh, he is. Yes, he loves Jonas Brothers. He does. And you're right, Fushia, love. Kids are more dangerous to the dog than the dog to the child. So you've got to protect the dogs from the child, because the dogs are going to only behave instinctively.
Yeah.
If you step on their tail, they will snap. If you hit them, they will snap. So you have to protect the dog from the child. That is what's most important, because the child's behavior is unpredictable. Dogs are pretty predictable. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for all to supervise dogs with kids. Yes. Thank you so very much. I love being here, and I look forward to maybe more chats in the future. Thank you so much, Musarrat. Lovely
Thank you
host.
so much, Gul. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.